Hey, hello, Heather. It's with an amnesia. I'm really tired. It's 5 in the morning right now. I just wanted to make a video because I have stuff on my mind and it's kind of wearing on me. Like, first off, all these damn internet socialite talking through forums is really a pain in the ass, I find for myself. Not like, like, like I've done like physical jobs where you're like loading like firewood into a truck or doing like shake walking, which is basically basic lumberjack work kind of, right? And I've done like weightlifting and stuff like that, right? And all the kind of physical wearing stuff. Well, I find that's more like not so stressful. Not stressful, I guess so, but like as uncomfortable because it's all natural and all like your body has like pretty much had like thousands of years to like kind of get used to that stuff. While like the computers all jumped all at once to in the big huzzah, and now we're like talking and being all crazy on them and so that, and it's like I find it's a bit disconnected. Um, yeah, it's just that like talking to people on like 3 different forums or 3 or 4 like Gabrielings 3 trying to find or Spellhold Studios or Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition and trying to like track down people who have like talent or want to work or it's just such a pain in the ass for myself. Like I'd rather just like just talk to people. Like I haven't like through all this rigmarole I haven't had like one like conversation. Like I've had like typing, like texting and stuff like blah 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 and like you type stuff out and it's like I type all weird too and I'm like type all like all grandeur and stuff. It's really weird, but yeah, it's I don't know, I find it's kind of odd for myself to do this. It's like I had this other video I canceled because it rambled on, but it was the one before this. I said that it's like I'm a Labrador Husky where I run to water, yet I'm afraid to jump in. As in, I like I love doing this Baldur's Gate stuff, making content for it. I pretty much like uh, my life's pretty much like kind of like halted, I suppose. Like it's not really like progressing super duper fast. Um, through a whole bunch of like political like negotiation, like traversing all this bullcrap stuff, right? But right now I'm just basically like, a whole bunch of free time, and I'm like plugging away at Baldur's Gate. But I have to go through all these goddamn forums, and it's like I don't mind forums and all, like talking to people, whatever, right? But like organizing people, holy shit, it's just such a clusterfuck, lack of better terms. Like it's such an artificial like. It's like if we were all air balloons in like a dark room and we're like writing out messages to each other on paper and like trying to get some meaning across versus just like if we just sat down and just like had a good conversation. Like it's so kind of like weird and artificial and fucked in a lot of ways. Um, but it seems to me like the only way I can actually get this project done. So it's like uh, such a pain in the ass. And I don't mean to be dull, disgruntled and stuff, but it's like I don't actually know any of you. Yet I find myself like pushed into like needing to cooperate with a whole bunch of crazy people online to get this done. I don't mind that and all, but it's just a bit um, like not that I have anything against you guys. It's just that like I'd just rather have a conversation, but it's just like that's a very like no one wants to have a conversation. Basically, that's like telling someone to run, you know, like a kilometer. Like, come on, run a kilometer. Like, no, not really. No, I'm not doing that. So they won't do that. A lot of people won't. So I find myself very you know how a druid sucks in Baldur's Gate? What's that terminology for it? Like you're not the strongest in class at your role. I'm basically not doing what I'm optimal for, which is like talking to people face to face and really getting like shit done, like face to face. Like I'd be great if like maybe like in a company, I suppose, like where I actually talk to people I'm like working with. We could all like brainstorm do crazy ass shit. Cause I actually like feed like a vampire off of like social energy, and like this is like I'm like a social vampire. If you like, I'm not a vampire. It's not a good analogy. It's like it's like I get empowered through people and just being around people who have like mindedness to myself. And like I like the Baldur's Gate community, but I'm like I feel like I guess back to the vampire analogy. I'm like a vampire who has to drink like tomato juice to like to be like where I want to be. So it's like really like yeah, it just doesn't feel natural. It feels very I guess fucked in a lot of ways. Like I'd rather just like talk to people, but no one wants to talk. So it's like not your guys' fault. Everyone's all emotionally comfortable with different things, but it's just fun that it's really hard, I suppose, doing this when I don't when like none of you are actually like I don't know any of you. I've never like met any of you, like not a one. It's like we're basically texting back and forth to do this crazy stuff. That's fine, I suppose, but it just feels so unnatural. Like I have like it's like a it's like I'm playing a mage, but only doing melee combat. If that makes any sense, it's like all this is melee combat. And like I'm like a mage. I'm like, oh, can I cast a spell? No, you have to be in like a group of people to cast. Spell. Oh, okay. But so it's like um, so it's kind of like I'm out of place here. Like I don't feel very uh like natural here, I guess. So it's very kind of weird. But I guess to be expected, I suppose. This is the internet. It is like what was the internet like came around like the 90s, 80s, so it's like not even like 50 years so the internet's came about. So it's all hokey as hell. So it's just a pain in the ass right now to use. Um, Man, there's all the privacy intrusions and shit. So anyway, oh, never mind about that. So man, whatever. Windows 8's already happened. So not Windows 10. So. Anyway, yeah, I just want to say, guys, it's just a kind of a pain in the ass talking to all you guys. Not like you guys in general, but just the medium it is. And it's like draining all my energy pretty much. Just not draining it, but I'm not getting any empowered energy. So it's like yeah, and also I have a failing memory. My memory loses a lot of content like this, like all this stuff. I don't really like on the forums and shit. I don't really give. Like, I care about you guys, but I don't really give a shit about how the medium is, like, if that makes any sense. Like, it's not like I'm passionate about, like, oh, forums, yeah, it's like, forums. I don't know, I'm weird, I guess, but it's just like, I forget so much stuff, I just don't care about it. At the end of the day, I don't, it doesn't sound very good, and I shouldn't say it, but it's honest. And I like music and stuff like that, and I like video game design, but it's just so draining, this form of video games. You don't talk to anyone, you don't like do a bunch of crazy back and forth ideas, it's just texting and oh god, it's just oh god. It's okay, I don't mean to bitch and like first world problems and all, but it just I wanted to tell you guys like how I feel about it. It really drained the crap out of me trying to like go into all these different websites knowing that I'll forget like 90% of what I'm gonna say, and like my life is so much of a roller coaster. It's like my focus goes to so many different places, like at the drop of a hat through like something I can't control. So it's like okay, I'm gonna forget a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want to forget. It's just um yeah. So it's just yeah. I don't feel very super empowered doing all this online. It feels very goose-stepped, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like I'm in a very thick field of molasses, and progress comes at like very individual paces. Like I don't feel like a team at all. It just feels like a mash of ingredients, like a bunch of stones thrown into a blender, if that makes any sense, right? And we're trying to make like chocolate, and you're like, oh, let's put some like super hard cocoa beans in there, and like put some oil. It's like, yeah, it's like trying to make like a nice dinner, and like you put all the ingredients into a blender, like, yeah, it's gonna work, and it's like it kind of works, but it's just, we'll make our own type of dinner, So it's like, it's like, oh, look, chicken blend stuff. It's like, oh, that's great. It tastes good and all, I suppose, but it's just like, this isn't, because all the crazy like AAA stuff isn't done through like crazy online forums. It's like done like people talking face to face. Like, hey Greg, what's your sword you're working on? Oh, this is the Facebuster 5000. Oh man, that looks really cool. Blah 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 blah. I can write a story for that, and it just goes from there, right? Versus like, I do like spend like a bazillion hours making like this ring, right? Not maybe like, I don't know, 6, and it's like ring and stuff. It's like basically I gotta do like everything that I like myself, and I basically do that, and it's like, hey, who else by the chance of I don't know, some crazy numbers that like 3 years after a release of a game that you had a chance to be on this forum, the slightest chance that like you may actually have some skills, be interested, and actually want to be willing to do this. If you want to like work with me on this, and it's like, oh god, yeah, I'm sure maybe. And it's like, oh god, how does this happen? It's all working weird and hokily in its own fashion. Like nothing bad about that, but it's just like, oh, it's just so draining for myself. I don't mean to be like bitch and like put a bunch of like devoted, like I like to inspire people. I don't like doing this. It's just feels counterintuitive, but holy god, I gotta vent somehow. It's just, oh fuck. Um, yeah, this isn't all my stuff either. This is the best thing I put up. Not the best, but in a quick amount of time. Yeah, so I really don't like to use the internet for game developing organization. That's basically the whole point. I'm having trouble using the internet because it's just draining a lot of life out of me, pretty much. Not all of it, but I'm not being empowered. I feel like I'm really out of place using the internet. So it's like I'm set up, like I'm basically like how I work my best is not on the internet. It's like talking to people face to face, and it's like, hey, blah 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 blah, and then something crazy happens, like climb a tree or something, or like steal a car. Not steal a car, but something crazy like that, right? Yeah, there was just like just typing away and sitting for hours. It's okay. It's like later. It's like mail, like saying stuff back and forth. It's like what's that word? Pen pal. It's like a pen pal like extravaganza going on here. It's just so can't have everything. Alright, well, I don't know. Thank you for listening to this. I guess it's boring ass radio. Yeah, I don't even know what's gonna happen with this video. I don't know its reaction. I'm just gonna post it, see what happens. Alright. Thanks guys, take care, whoop ass, and get some sleep.